Today we're making
糖醋魚塊
sweet and sour fish. This is another popular variation on the classic sweet and sour pork that we all know and love. And my dad will walk you through all of the nuances of delicately frying a fish.
Cheers!
First, we'll start with the cutting techniques.
首先咧，我哋將處理到啲魚肉先嗬，係龍脷魚肉嚟嘅。啲魚肉咧，因為佢係脯筍嚟嘅，同埋佢就經過呢個醃製過一下先嚟㗎，所以我哋處理佢先嗬。呢個尾嗰度咧就咁就取咗一塊得啦。咁呢度咧
We'll first cut the fillet into chunks.
揾啲死膠。我咧就係咁樣嗱，呢個斜斜地一個。
Then we'll cut each chunk into 4 pieces.
咁樣，斜地切佢闊啲啦。如果咁樣就咪窄咯，啊。
Now we'll cut the rest of the chunks into small pieces.
喂，好啦。咁切之後咧，要處理嘅，俾啲鹽，俾啲鹽醃一醃佢，揦佢先至再用嚇。佢就可以去咁啲雪味啊，同埋嗰啲佢醃製嗰時候，我仲俾啲水沖佢嚇。我而家咧就用2個茶匙嘅鹽，之後咧俾手揦勻佢，撈勻佢嚇，唔好大力嚇，係咁撈就得㗎啦。就擺喺度。
有冇種魚唔應該做呢個菜啊？
嗰啲好薄嘅魚肉啊、扁魚啊、嗰啲腰帶魚啊，嗰啲咪唔得咯，咁薄點做得啊？因為做呢個炸魚一定要啲肉厚嘅。
連骨成嚿炸咪得咯。
但係你就唔做得到呢個菜啦嘛。
佢就唔係魚塊，因為佢就甜酸魚啫嘛。甜酸魚唔一定係要魚塊嘅啫。我呢個糖醋魚柳，魚柳即係啲魚肉。劈咗一嚿嘅就魚柳，魚柳就雲魚柳，成條就成條嘅。然之後咧，嚟切咗個配料。
We'll start with roughly 2 ounces of pineapple cut into small pieces. In a previous video, my dad teaches us how to cut a fresh pineapple, so check out that video, link in description after this one. But you can always use canned pineapple for convenience.
洋葱咧我都係俾2個安士嘅得㗎啦。
We'll just peel off a few layers of onion here.
洋葱咧都係切過。
Then we'll cut into small triangular chunks. 搣生佢，紅椒咧都係俾2個安士咁上下啦，俾半個夠啦。Here we'll cut out just half of a red bell pepper.
都係切角嚟嘅。
After cutting into strips, we'll cut them into small triangular chunks just like the onions.
就係咁多料。
If you've been following our sweet and sour adventures, you might have noticed a bunch of different names for the dishes. Gulo, timshun, tongto. How are these all sweet and sour? Well, gulo for guloyog is the traditional name specifically for sweet and sour pork, apparently named after the satisfied sounds of someone eating it. Timshun are literally the words for sweet and sour, while tongto means sugar and vinegar, the ingredients to create those flavors. So these 2 names are essentially interchangeable in Cantonese. As you make this sweet, tangy, sticky sauce, the most important thing is to get the sweet and sour flavors to a balance that you prefer. You'll notice that my dad is always tasting and adjusting until he's satisfied with it. Our family's preferences probably differ from yours, so taste as you go.
做咗切好咗後咧，就夠一個炸醬。我係用3個湯匙個麵粉，1個湯匙嘅生粉。如果淨係生粉咧，佢又硬得滯，咁所以咧就溝開佢。另外咧，我又俾呢個拍蝦粉半個茶匙啫，俾少少鹽落去，半個茶匙。做好呢啲之後咧，就俾水，先俾4個湯匙嘅水，調開佢。如果係唔夠咧，就再加下。而家俾3個湯匙。
呢啲水有冰，
因為佢天氣熱，你水係暖嘅水落嘅話咧，嗰啲發酵粉發得好緊要。即係我而家未炸之前咧，等佢冇發得咁犀利，咁佢後果個皮會靚啲嗬。
但係如果唔係熱，咁唔使。
咁啊唔使嗱，嗰啲唔使。而家咧就俾4個湯匙嘅水上去，攪勻佢。咁樣咧就唔結得就唔得啦啊！即係話要俾多個湯匙水。呢個咧最尾就唔好俾下俾曬佢，半個湯匙水啊，咁攪開佢。呢個醬咧，佢同平時嗰啲炸咕嚕肉嗰個醬又有少少唔同。呢個醬咧要開翻結少少，因為嗰魚佢本身佢嘅水分比較重啲，所以咧唔需要嗰個呢個炸醬要結分少少，再俾翻少少落去。好啦，即係俾4個半湯匙就夠啦。再俾少少油落去，炸出嚟嘅皮靚啲。
點解俾嗰啲化學粉啊？
俾化學粉就真係將炸出嚟嘅皮咧 會鬆化啊。我哋咧就夠個甜酸質咯喎。首先俾3個湯匙醋先，呢個白醋嚟嘅米醋啊。再唔夠咧，先至再加啊甜酸度嗰啲 keep 汁咧，我俾4個湯匙，攪勻佢。俾糖，首先俾住3個湯匙，攪勻佢係夠唔夠甜先。
Be sure to taste it to get the perfect balance.
頭先俾咗3個湯匙，而家再多2個湯匙上去，即係俾5個湯匙。好啦，俾啲水調調佢，先俾2個湯匙水，就俾少糖好啲。糖醋一定要夠糖夠醋。
We'll add another tablespoon of sugar here for a total of 6 tablespoons.
另外咧，我就夠一個呢個生粉，呢個芡汁咧，到時推開佢係，如果係睇唔夠結嘅時候咧，我就加，到時唔一定要俾呢個生粉上去。哦，我俾一個茶匙生粉。
Then we'll add 1 tablespoon of water and mix with the potato starch. As we mentioned before, in Cantonese, sweet and sour goes by Tim Xun, but it's Tian Swan in Mandarin, a language I've been studying using Rosetta Stone, the partner of today's video, for an upcoming bucket list trip.
Sometime soon, I want to take my whole family to China on a heritage trip so that we can all experience the culture my parents grew up in. I actually did this a few years ago with just my dad, but because I only speak Cantonese, I hated not being able to talk to anyone in Mandarin.
Now with Rosetta Stone, I get to familiarize myself with Mandarin with immersive 5-minute lessons that prepare me for real-life scenarios during our China trip. It's great because I can use their app on the go, and they have nifty features like stories, audio companion tools, and a pronunciation trainer to give me real-time feedback on my accents and tones.
一家饭店
I'm kind of giving away my age here, but I still remember learning with Rosetta Stone CDs as a kid. They've been doing this for 30 plus years now and have since expanded to 25 different languages. Not only can you learn Mandarin, but you can also learn Korean and Japanese and Spanish and so many other languages at any time for life. So if you're interested, click on the link in our description to take advantage of 60% savings on a lifetime subscription of Rosetta Stone.
呢啲準備功夫做好之後咧，就要洗啲魚，我哋要洗乾淨佢，洗乾淨啲鹽佢。同埋一洗去將嗰啲入個雪櫃嗰啲味去咁啲佢啊。
Here we'll pour out the water and rinse again with clean water.
2至3次。而家留起個鰭水嗬。
Then we'll take out the fish and let it drain in a colander.
呢隻魚肉我而家係醃製過嚟嘅，我就想去咁嗰啲味嗬。
Like my dad says, you can make this recipe with the whole fish rather than fillet chunks. Check out module 20.1 in our fundamentals library for our step-by-step instructions for preparing a whole fish. Plus, the mastery recipe in that module has everything you need to know for perfectly frying a whole fish, just right for combining with this recipe's sauce for a sweet and sour whole fish.
喺呢度咧，我哋要將啲魚肉索乾水佢，咁佢先上得到粉。
First, we'll lay out all of the fish on a paper towel.
將俾層子。
Then we'll use another paper towel on top to dry both sides of the fish. My dad likes to roll up the paper towels with the fish inside so every part of the paper towels can absorb the moisture. Then he'll squeeze out the water.
等佢捏嗰啲水出嚟，即係盡量等佢乾身啲嚇，因為我哋頭先用水嚟洗過佢，再飲佢嚇。
We're drying it so thoroughly because we want the seasoning to actually absorb into the fish.
好啦，咁就得啦。
Then we'll put the fish into a bowl to season it.
點解白乾身好多係嘛？咁啊炸上嚟咪靚啲咯。好啦，而家咧就醃一醃啲魚肉嚇。
We'll add 1 tablespoon of cornstarch, a half teaspoon of salt, and a 3rd teaspoon of white pepper.
我俾隻蛋黃落去。
We'll carefully crack an egg and separate the whites and the yolk.
如果俾埋蛋白咧，佢就稀得滯啦。咁樣俾啲蛋黃咧，佢就炸起上嚟，佢皮就更加滑、更加黃、金黃色嚇。
We have all of these ingredients listed on our blog at madewithlau.com, along with step-by-step instructions and video clips to guide you as you make the recipe at home.
我就唔俾水啦，就咁俾個蛋黃開咗啲生粉得㗎啦。因為嗰啲魚呢個濕嘅，所以唔需要再俾水啦。咁炸上嚟咧，佢嘅 colour 會靚好多嘅嗱。
Now we'll mix the fish with the seasoning.
How do you make this less fishy?
通常係油炸過嘅嘢，炸嘢咧，佢唔會好腥嘅，因為我炸嘅時候有胡椒粉，有其他嘢落去。準備好晒之後咧，就開始炸啦。開大火，燒咗隻鑊，乾水，中間白色轉起煙就落油啦。今日咧我就用粟米油炸，係大概係用12安士油咁上下啦。啲油炸完都可以上嚟炒菜食得㗎。咁樣講，你多啲油啦，一次過炸晒；少啲油炸2次，分得2次炸。
We'll heat the oil up to roughly 330 degrees Fahrenheit. If you don't have a thermometer, we can drop in a bit of batter. If it immediately bubbles and puffs up, then we know the oil is hot enough.
差唔多嗱， 將啲炸醬撈過嚟，撈勻佢，
We'll add the batter to the fish and mix it in by hand.
撈勻佢係嘛？
Using your hands is the best way to mix the fish with the batter gently, since using any utensils risks breaking apart the fish.
而家咧就擺魚肉落㗎啦。
We'll add the fish into the hot oil by hand so it doesn't splash.
應該有喳喳聲嘅，唔係太犀利。
而家呢個時候佢唔會喳喳聲㗎，因為佢油溫我唔係想佢一刻咁高啊嘛，起泡就得㗎啦。
你擺嗰陣時係咪分開啊？
梗係分開啦。你兩個開中火，keep 住中火啊，唔嘥時間長，炸3分鐘到啦。嗱，仲唔黐底嗱，微微咁樣轉黃就可以留起㗎啦。分開佢，而家分開佢，
As they fry, we'll move the pieces around and separate any that stick together.
炸兩次嘅原因就係第一次炸嘅時候咧，佢啲魚汁啱啱就係由個皮度熟咗落去。第二次炸開到最猛火嘅時候炸咧，就將嗰啲油逼翻佢出嚟，同埋嗰啲汁啲魚汁炸翻透佢，咁就係啦。所以就係炸兩次就係咁嘅原因啦。嗱，開始轉黃嚇，開始轉黃啦。菠蘿浮起晒啦，可以夾起佢啦。
After 3 to 4 minutes, or when the fish takes on a light golden brown color, we can take out the first batch and set it aside.
好，中火再炸埋呢啲先。
How do you make the batter thin, light, and crispy?
粉醬嘅比例又好緊要。做呢個冧粉嘅時候，你唔好冧得太多，個粉醬厚啲、炸厚啲嘅話，就會軟晒啦。冧粉又冧得多嘅話，你咪將啲嚿肉喺個邊嗰度，兩邊嘅揩刮佢，先擺落去炸，就係啦。
你冇咁，
但係我唔多啊嘛。
Now we can take out the second batch of fish.
OK，第一次炸咗，而家開大火。
Now we'll heat up the oil more for the second fry.
385、390度啦，而家390 ，OK。
We'll add in the first batch.
好快脆啊！呢個，嗱，將啲油逼翻晒出嚟啦。嗱，咁卡拿得唔得？
After just 30 to 40 seconds, we can take out the first batch.
加埋呢個。
Then we'll repeat with the second batch.
Could you do this in an air fryer?
都或者可以嘅，不過個氣炸鍋嘅面積有幾大，就整少少都得嘅。氣炸鍋你又唔好諗濕粉、乾粉做。
When the second batch is done, we'll take it out and set it aside.
呢個時候咧，就將啲洋葱同埋啲香蕉洗晒佢，閂咗火，夠溫、夠油溫，成日拉就得㗎。
We'll fry the bell peppers and onions for just 10 to 15 seconds, then out.
OK， 得㗎啦，啱啱再拉煮個梳士咪撈埋咪得咯。菠蘿啊唔使得㗎，就咁得㗎啦。將啲油倒起佢，玻璃碗就會裂，但係呢啲瓷器碗就唔怕裂。即係倒佢過嚟，嗰啲油咧你可以攞翻嚟煮菜得㗎。抹乾淨個鑊佢。
Bobbit Master from Patreon asks, can you translate this recipe into something like tofu?
一樣嘅冧粉咁炸啫嘛，豆腐就可以冧粉咁樣炸，咁炸好你咪俾個甜酸做汁咁撈咁咪得咯。你炸嗰啲其他啲不佢梨啊，又炸好多嘢，你可以炸咗之後，糖醋汁落去撈埋咪得咯。
係咪要可以切得片定係？
如果你炸豆腐咧，你就炸嗰啲老豆腐咯，唔好炸啲嫩豆腐咯。
係咪要嘥咁多時間整乾啊？
通常都係要俾個布飲乾先炸咯。
With the oil poured out and the wok wiped clean, we're ready to put it all together.
好啦，而家咧就將啲煮翻住啲sauce佢，慢火。
We'll heat the sauce we mixed earlier on low heat. My dad adds a bit of water to the bowl to get all of the sauce.
生粉如果睇到佢打出嚟嘅sauce係夠結咧就唔使，如果唔夠結咧就要加啲生粉上去。
We'll gently stir the sauce as it heats up so it doesn't burn.
煮下佢先。
We'll continue to stir as it starts to boil and reduce a little. Now we can give it a taste test.
再加少少糖上去，一個湯匙，
We'll mix in the sugar.
即係前後個六個湯匙糖。
Now we'll add in the potato starch slurry a bit at a time, stirring to let it thicken the sauce.
俾埋啲 葱上去，菠蘿俾埋上去，
Now we'll mix everything on high heat.
開大火煮啲嘅收，等佢收一收汁。
Here, my dad adds the rest of the slurry, but you may not need to if your sauce is thick enough.
好啦，OK 散火，一俾少啲油上去，一個茶匙油上去，咁咪拖佢靚晒咯，係啦，而家撈勻㗎啦嚇。
Finally, we'll add in the fish and mix, being careful to lift from the bottom of the wok so we don't break apart any pieces.
Shirley from the Canto Cooking Club asked, how do you prevent the fish from being soggy once the sauce is on it?
個魚係佢個水分比較多啲嘅，你炸上嚟炸一炸出嚟，你唔落咗sauce之後，你係一樣你係快啲食就用壞，仲係有啲唔得脆脆啲。如果你係擺落一陣間，佢就會軟晒㗎啦。啲魚就冇得選擇嘅，硬係軟滑啫。香脆你就唔好落sauce啦，啲sauce分開就可以點嚟食。好味啊！呢啊！軟滑係咪？係啊！糖醋魚肺做好咗，剩佢上碟。
Now we can plate everything and serve to our family immediately so it doesn't get soggy.
Hello， 朋友們，糖醋魚肺就好咗啦，希望大家中意。紅隊妹妹弟弟落嚟吃魚咯！耶，買入去耶
Cam, you want some pineapple?
Oh, you're so strong.
Yeah.
YouTube thinks you'll like this recipe next. Let's see if they're right. A huge thank you to our wok stars and all of our chefs in the Canto Cooking Club.